Thank you very much. So I'm the warm-up act. That's fine, you know. I'll always secede the places and prefer to a Wimbledon champion. I'm not from Leicester, but I came to Leicester 15 years ago to start working and came to live here permanently 5 years ago. And I was just amazed, actually, that I could walk to one of the iconic rugby grounds, not just of England, but of the world, and walk to a new football stadium that hadn't been built out in the suburbs as some kind of anonymous suburban bowl, but was still part of a real, living, beating heart of the city. And when I was in the back garden, you know, I could hear the crowd, you know, from a mile or so away. So that was exciting, but of course particularly exciting for me was that I came here to work in a centre for the history of sport. And De Montfort University set up the only centre, not just in Britain, but the only centre in the world specifically devoted to the history of sport. So for us, it's obviously a special thrill to have an exhibition on the history of sport right here, right in Leicester, and for us to be able to contribute to it. And particularly for several of our PhD students, we've currently got 16 PhD students working in sports history. It's a lot of students, and several of them have put their work in here on boxing, on Highfield Rangers Football Club, for example. Some of our staff also have contributed. So it's a great pleasure. Sport is really part of our lives. It's part of history. It's part of our collective memory. I noticed particularly last year with the Special Olympics that it was such a huge event, the biggest single multi-sports event that was put on in Britain in 2009. And that campaign where they had My Hero, and where you had Martin Johnson alongside a learning disabled athlete, it was a tremendous coup for the city, I think, and really showed how much Leicester has embraced the idea that sport, they have elite sport, as I've said, but they've also got sport for all. And the idea that sport breaks down barriers and brings people together across gender, across disability, across ethnicity, I think is terrific. And I think it's really shown here. So I do hope you'll go and look at the photographs, not just pass them by, but immerse yourself for a few seconds at least, or a minute or two, in that different world, all these different worlds that we've got. The extraordinary achievements, the women's hockey, for example, that is so important, you know, in this city, to pick one out of so many. So thank you very much to Gareth and the whole Arts Reach team. I want to say thank you to James, who works in the centre, James Panter, who really picked this idea up for me and said, we must do this and get involved. So a special thank you for him. And a final word to say that we're going to have a debate based on this exhibition at the Cultural Exchanges Week that the university puts on, where everybody is welcome to come and talk about what's special about Leicester's sporting heritage. So that's the end of the month. I think it's, I haven't got the date off the top of my head, but it's in the University Cultural Exchanges programme. So that's said far too much. Thank you very much to everyone.